and they're like, we're getting close. We're
crazy. Looking at it right now,
dude. Like, look at it.
It's wild.
Like they're fully swimming in a way that producer Will is pulling up a video for those who are watching on YouTube.
Look at that.
They're swimming like a dolphin. So wait, really, you can't. Yeah, how could you tell the difference?
I can't tell
I don't believe that this is an animatronic dolphin. I can't speak.
That's what I'm saying.
Are you kidding me right now?
Look at that. Are you kidding me?
There's no way.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, it's crazy. Like I would go. By the way, I would pay to swim with that robot. Like, I've never done the pay to swim with a dolphin. 100%. I would 100% pay to swim with that robot. Yeah, no, I'm all about craziness. It too, man. Yeah, I could not.
I'm all about it because dolphins are smart creatures. I'm all about them not keeping them in captivity. 100 zillion%. I mean, it's just one of those trashy, dumbass things that humans do, which is keep them in captivity along with all the fucking other bullshit they do to them. But there's no way that that's an animatronic dolphin.
Dude, it is crazy. And I love this, by the way. Like, I think Disneyland's great. I love the idea of inspiring magic and whatever their whole like spiel is. I think it's super fun. You know, I love the idea of Disney being like, look, we're investing. I have to imagine this cost tens to hundreds of millions of dollars.
That's got to be like, that's probably a $10 million dolphin.
For sure.
Right? I mean, it has to be.
Although when you look at the skin, dude, it does look kind of fake on the skin a little bit when it comes out of the water.
There's one part where it comes out of the water and the water beads are like coming off it like it's a little bit plasticky right there. But dude, still,
Disney. That dolphin sucks.
But if you didn't know, I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a marine biologist. If you watch this without knowing the context of what we just discussed, you would not go, that's a plastic dolphin. Look at the weird water on its back. You would not. You would not.
No way.
It's so good. And I love this. I love the story. I think it's great news. Like, good on you, Disney, for, getting rid of real dolphins and putting in these animatronic ones that, again, must have cost hundreds of millions of dollars and 20 years of R&D. Like, go Disney.
Yeah. It gives.
Yeah. I like the jungle ride at Disney with the fakeish looking giraffes and hippos.
It's super fun.
Sort of dancing. No, they don't really dance on that one, but I mean, just like the old school Disney animatronics. And I didn't even go to Disney as a kid. Like, I didn't live anywhere near there. And like, I think I went when I was maybe 15 for a day. Mm-hmm. But I've been to Disneyland since I moved to LA as an adult. I like the old, it's a small world,
It's a small world. Yeah, they're like, it's a small world after all. It's just like so
what's
cheesy.
Your guys' thoughts on Disneyland?
Remember when we went to Disneyland?
I was just going
to say, me and you had a great time.
I mean, let's be fair. Once we got out of the park and into Adventureland where we could booze at ESPN Zone or wherever the fuck we were, we had a good time.
Oh, dude. If you put a gun to my head and said, like, what's the happiest you've ever been in a single instant, I would point to a time where Retep and I went with two women who are no longer in our lives.
Correct.
And we went to Disneyland, and we started by going to California Adventure, where you can drink.
Yep.
So we would do a ride. We'd have a glass of wine. We'd do a couple more rides. We'd fucking get a beer, whatever. We're having a nice usual day. That closes early. Then we get into Disneyland. And they turn into fucking lunatics, where they're like, they have like an itinerary ready, 3 hours left. They're like, Pirates of the Caribbean, Small World. We're like, oh my God. And then we realize there's no booze in Disneyland proper.
Right. Yeah, that's a real letdown.
It was terrible.
So now we wait while sobering up for 50 minutes to do Pirates of the Caribbean. Great ride. Awesome. Then they want to do It's a Small World.
I love that you remember the ride.
A lot of bang for your buck.
I don't even remember the ride.
True.
We get out. And as we're leaving, because they had 6 more rides we were going to do, 6 more hours. And I just look at Peter, I go, do you want to just say we're not going and just refuse to go and go to the ESPN Zone and drink? Because we had hotel rooms. He's like, yeah.
Yep.
And we just told him. They didn't even care.
Right.
We get to ESPN Zone. We each order a beer and a shot. We're like the only ones in there.
Great.
Bartender's like, yeah, we're open till 1. And I just looked at Peter, and it was just... He was like welling up with joy.
No, dude, it was hours and hours of not drinking. And you keep in mind, I didn't know that you couldn't drink at Disneyland. This was news to me when I got there. So you got a picture like just a guy who's in his prime drinking years with, and I'm just like, oh, great. And also, I hate Disneyland. Don't get me wrong, but I fucking hate it. I'm sorry. I apologize if anybody's like this, but I think it's ridiculous when people are like adults are obsessed with it. And I'm just like, well, whatever. It's their thing. It's fine. But
it is a thing. There are adults obsessed with it. No, I don't get it. I mean, I don't get it either. Like, get a life. But there are legit adults obsessed with going
and get booze in your theme park.
So,
thank you.
Yeah, get some fucking booze, Disney. Maybe your stock would be performing better. They're laying off. They just announced they're laying off an additional 25 to 40,000.
Crazy.
Like, how?
Yeah, well, they spent $250 million on Robot Dolphin. Of course, they can't make people salary.
Yeah. So, Forrest, I saw producer Will's show doc, and right away I was like, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this as a herpetology enthusiast slash expert. So this is about apparently a rare snake that's found in Thailand called the Asian Kukri. Kukri. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have you tell it because you understand snakes more than I do. I find them to be scary, and I climb trees to avoid them when they're handling them.
I've seen you do it. Yes. I know the headline. It's interesting. And there's actually a fun pun, if you will, to this story. So the Asian Kukri snake got observed doing a behavior that's never before been seen, which is incredible. They have these amazing, like, knife-like teeth, right, in their upper jaws. And one was observed slashing into its prey, which is a large toad, and disemboweling it, plunging its head into the abdominal cavity of this toad, and then feasting on these organs, like, one at a time while the toad was still alive and bleeding out. Yeah, so totally gnarly, which is, personally, I think it's absolutely fascinating that a snake could do this. And a couple things here, and I'll tell you what the fun kind of pun is in a minute, but a couple things that I think are awesome and worth acknowledging. I think herpetologists in particular, like, knowing every field of biology, herpetologists in particular think they have it all figured out, right? Like, they think, oh, yes, we know everything about snakes. Like, it's a snake. I've had it in my fish tank. I know what it does. Wow. Look at it. That's it with its head inside of the toad.
That's nuts. Yeah, Will just brought up a picture of this actually happening. The toad is intact, essentially, and the snake is just inside.
The snake's head is inside of it.
Inside it. Yeah.
Munching it.
Oh, my God.
But anyway, I think, the fact that herpetologists generally feel like, and again, this is a generalization, but I think a lot of them feel like they understand all behavioral aspects of snakes and what they do and how they do it. And, this one's a constrictor and this one's venomous. And, we understand these broad generalizations. And then to have something like this, where you're like, this is not just a constrictor that eats toads the same way every other snake does. It actually disembowels them with its crazy, weird fang structure and goes in and eats their organs and then leaves them there. Like, that's incredible. And nobody's observed this before now, as far as I know. The other part of the story that I think is really fun, or part of the news, so it's called a kukri snake because of its knife-like teeth. A kukri is a type of knife. It's a type of machete. It's that curved machete, if you've ever seen it.
Oh, yeah.
I think might have been the kind Indiana Jones used, but those like curved machetes. Yeah, like Aladdin. Yeah. Exactly. That's what a kukri is. So the name kukri snake comes from its knife-like teeth. But what I think is more fun about this is the fact that this kukri snake, aka this knife snake, uses its knife-like teeth as a knife to slash its prey as if it were in battle. So there's like this kind of like fun thing there. This thing was already named after like this weapon and this action, and it actually uses it. I don't know. I think it's super cool. And as a herpetologist, like, seeing this, I would love to have a kukri snake as a pet now. I would be feeding it toads left and right and watching it.
Oh, God, you sick pig. You would. Not my cup of tea.
I am.
Just like Disney.
Dude, I was on a shoot once, and had some time. We were shooting a little bit later in the day, right? So in production, typically we do about a 12-hour day. So we need to shoot it.
We do a 12-hour day? I don't think we've ever done under a 17-hour day, but
right.
Okay.
Well, this was a different kind of deal. Bunch of union guys grumbling. But so we were filming, and we were starting later in the day because we needed to film at night. So I had time in the morning. I'm not a morning person, but we weren't starting till like 2 p.m. So I decided to go for a run. We were on the coast of this island off of Indonesia called Flores Island. And I decided to go for a chill little run on the beach, watching some waves. There's fucking nobody there. It's great. So I go for this run, and I'm coming back towards where we're staying, and I see this fucking huge sea turtle. And it's like kind of like maybe 10 feet off where the waves are breaking. And I'm looking at it, and it's moving weird, right? Like it's kind of like herking jerking around. It almost looks like a little like marionette of this giant sea turtle. And so I'm like, what the fuck is that thing doing? And it's weird. Like when you're, we talk about like matrixing when you expect to see something, you might, but it was moving so strange. I was just like, I thought maybe it had broken its legs. So I kind of run up to it. I get within about 8 feet of it. And all of a sudden, this fucking lizard that is called a Komodo dragon just goes, pulls its head out of the abdomen with entrails coming out of its mouth and just looks up at me. They've got big fucking scary teeth, completely covered in blood, the entire head with just stringy bits, like it had been tearing into like poor quality steak, and just looks at me, and I was just like, holy fuck, and just took off and just sprinted away as fast as I could with no knowledge of how fast this thing could run and whether it could catch me or would try to. It was bananas, but it had its head all the way up inside this fucking sea turtle, and I couldn't see.
Using that turtle like a sock puppet.
Yeah. Exactly.
It got you. That's funny, man. I didn't know that story. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a while ago. It was pretty bonkers.
That's why I don't. This is why I stay inside for most of the days. Cheers, mates.
Yeah, they're Komodo dragons. Probably, I'm not a favorite animal guy because I'm an adult, and once you reach about 12, you stop saying my favorite animal. But aside from like crocodiles,
aside from my favorite animal, I would say crocodile. I would say my other favorite animal.
Shut up, Peter. My favorite animal, singular, not group of animals, is probably the Komodo dragon. It was a huge, lifelong bucket list for me to go and see them. And I did it in 2011. Unbelievable creatures. I love those things. I think they're amazing.
And
Well, I was just going to say, so like obviously the Komodo dragon. Okay, I've wondered. You went to see them. Like, do you have to be behind like a fence or something? Will they attack and kill you? They're like tame.
They're not neither. So Komodo dragons, they are predators, right? There's kind of an interesting story. We used to think that they had venom. Then we learned that there was just bacteria in their mouths that was so nasty that when they bit something, it would cause gangrene and infection and die. Then we learned that they have that and a little bit of venom. So our understanding has actually evolved of these creatures. But they're these huge monitor lizards. They live on a handful of islands in Indonesia, and they are predatory, right? They bite water buffalo and things like that, and then they follow them around and wait for them to die. But they're very slow moving, and they kind of just sit there and they're lethargic. Now, that being said, there are a couple interesting things. When I went there was no I went as a biologist. So I went there, I checked in at the ranger station, and the guy, not joking, handed me a broom pole. And he was like, this is for you. And the idea is if they get close, you whack them with the broom pole. Swear to God. And I was like, cool, this is fine by me. And they couldn't have cared less about my presence. But there were a couple things. So first of all, I remember when I went, you weren't supposed to wear red, and I showed up in a red T-shirt, and then I had to go shirts optional all day because I didn't know you weren't supposed to wear red. And then women on their periods are not supposed to be there because they can, and that's how once they bite something, they smell for blood and they smell for, any kind of body fluid. So women on their periods are not supposed to go to the island during that time. So I found that really interesting. And then there is a really cool story. Patrick and I once wrote a show around it that didn't go forward, of these divers that washed up. They were out because there's a lot of diving in the area. It's one of the best diving areas in Indonesia. And there were some divers lost at sea, and they were like, oh, there's an island in the distance, right? And they're like, we'll swim over there and the boat will come get us in the morning. And they swum over to Komodo Island, Komodo proper, like the main island where all the dragons are. Had no idea it was Komodo, like shacked up on the beach. And sure enough, I don't remember exactly, maybe you do, Patrick, it was one of them or both of them, but definitely somebody got eaten by a Komodo dragon that night.
Wait, so they'll eat you like if essentially you're not a threat. Like if you were just sleeping, they come across you, they're hungry, it'll fuck you up and eat you. That's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, ultimately, if they wanted to, as a human, broomstick or not, there's nothing you could do to stop them. I mean, there really isn't. They're slow. You know, you could maybe outrun them, but they're huge, powerful varanids. They're not.
Do they have teeth? Like, I mean, they obviously must have teeth. But they have big ass fucking mouths with sharp teeth.
Big, nasty, recurved interlocking teeth. So they just go in, boom, and then release.
Oh shit! That's
look
a
at that
dinosaur,
thing, man. I mean,
this is prehistoric.
Exactly
animal
right
here.
Exactly
Crazy.
right. No, I think there's such.
They really are.
Do you guys remember this was this is going back to 2001, but I remember this story. The actress Sharon Stone from Casino and Basic Instinct. In 2001, she was getting like a private tour at the LA Zoo with her then either husband or boyfriend, whatever. And they went into a Komodo dragon enclosure, and he got fucking bit on his foot.
No,
under the supervision of the people at the zoo.
No
by
way.
a Komodo dragon, and had to be rushed for emergency surgery, and almost lost the foot, but didn't. But
wow,
I mean, it was they bit his foot. They were like,
yeah.
You're gonna lose that foot or leg.
That's what it does.
Immediately,
its whole fucking thing is
like the bacteria just fucks.
That's crazy, dude.
Which is crazy. I think I might have gone on an online app date with someone who had the similar bacteria.
What, dude? It's so out of left field, and
her breath was gross.
What a call!
Dude. So wait, how old did you continue making out with her, even though it was gross?
Dude, it wasn't even a possible situation.
Listen,
for me.
yeah,
it was so.
How old were you? How old?
Gnarly.
Were you? 3 years ago. This is the most recent. Single, and it was bad. It was really bad. And so I was like, "Fuck." Otherwise, physically, fantastic.
Sure.
And I'm not.
Right.
So, but I was smelling the breath, and then I started doing experiments where I was like, "Is it something she ate?" So then I was like trying to what I was able to deduce was that it was actually coming also out of the nose,
dude.
Oh wow!
So I was like, "This is real bad, like halitosis."
So
I actually remember this because I remember you'd been on that date, and then I talked to you the next day or 2 days later, and you were like, because I remember you were kind of excited to meet her because she was really hot, and then I was like, "How'd it go?" And you're like, "Dude, I got to tell you about this thing that happened," and I was like, "What?" You told me this story.
Well, yeah,
weird.
There's obviously a catch-22, way out of your league. Let me ask you a question.
Right.
Couldn't have been nicer, couldn't have been sweeter. And I really thought about this, delivering an anonymous piece of mail, because I was like, she's gone 30 years and no one's
that's
told her.
What a psychopath would do. First of all, why would you have her address? But you went back to her house? So you guys fucked and no kissing at all?
No, of course not. What were you going to ask?
No, I was going to say, so let's say you came across this problem and you actually like cared about the person, and it was like somebody you were dating, and all of a sudden they just had terrible breath. How would you handle it? Would you just write an anonymous letter from elsewhere?
I would tell them to go get some mouthwash.
You would.
Yeah,
Forrest has no amygdala.
First of all,
he would be scared.
No.
Well,
Fear would not.
I would submit a journal entry to the New England Journal of Medicine for a new disease called instant onset halitosis. I'd be like, how does this happen? All of a sudden, you develop?
I went on a date with a girl, and this is the difference between being an adult and being like a young kid. She had
And which are you currently?
Well,
just to be clear?
You'll know after I tell the story. She had terrible halitosis, which, by the way, I think is a fake thing. But
is halitosis bad breath?
It is.
I didn't know this.
It's a term, but I think it's kind of one of those things that's not actually a scientific real thing. That it's just people who have bad breath consistently. Anyways, I went on a date with this girl, terrible breath, and I still made out with her. And it's like now I couldn't. My body at this age, I physically wouldn't be able to do it. My dick would be up in my stomach, coming out of my own ass.
So, Forrest, I got actually one of our Brostners / the Wild Bunch sent me a message on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because he lives in this place called Lake Jackson, Texas.
Okay.
And I see that producer Will has also put this on the show doc. I couldn't fucking believe this. So, have you guys heard previous stories about a brain-eating amoeba being in fresh water?
Yeah.
Yep.
Will get it, shoots up their nose when they jump off.
I know a person who refuses to go into lakes because of that fear of that thing.
They have it in the Blackwater Canyon, which is where on the below Vegas, below the Hoover Dam, there's like a bunch of hot springs on the Colorado River. Isn't it? It's Nigleria fowleri or something like that is the name of the.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I remember first hearing about these stories when I was in high school or college, and it definitely changed the way I think about like jumping off people are like, oh, let's jump off the rock. It's 15 feet high. Because that's oftentimes how you get it is when you do like a cliff jump or whatever.
Something shoots up your nose.
Only into fresh water, and the water shoots up your nose. That's often how the amoeba gets close enough to your brain, goes up, eats your fucking brain.
Nightmare.
Like,
Yep.
Basically something out of a zombie.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, by the way, this hasn't made any fucking national news at all because we've got the election, we've got COVID, we've got all this shit going.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So, the governor of Texas has issued a disaster declaration in Brazoria County because in this place called Lake Jackson, Texas, the Nigleria fowleri amoeba has infested the water.
Dude, what?
Oh, geez.
So people are drinking it, and a 6-year-old died.
Oh my God.
And so now everyone has to boil everything or obviously drink bottled water that came in from out of town, whatever. No showering, fucking whatever, like wear a nose plug in the shower.
Dude.
Jesus.
It's pretty crazy.
Aren't the water-
that
Is it
would
not
happen
treat-
in America?
Not that I think you know the answer to this off the top of your head, but is it not treatable with like chlorine or something like that? I mean, I don't, I would think if it's in the tap water, wouldn't chlorine kill it?
Isn't
I
this
don't know.
water going through a fucking treatment facility? I'm scared. If I was a terrorist, this is what I would do. It would instill fear amongst everybody.
So typically, what they do is the water that we drink that comes out of our tap is runs through a filtration system using a chemical called chloramine, which is obviously like a less harmful to your body version of chlorine.
Okay.
And so now what they're doing is they're running all the water through actual free chlorine, which is a practice called chlorine burn.
Okay.
But then you can't drink it. You can't drink the water.
Oh, interesting.
But at least you could shower.
Wait, I see.
Well, so
fucking
that's
gross. Dude.
horrific.
It is
and
disgusting.
It's a good plot of a movie.
and it's terrifying. Yeah. One of the things, practicing primitive survival, one of the things that I learned long time ago, and I think most people don't realize this, if you're stuck with bad water, right? Obviously bad water is like you're better off to not drink water than bad water. Like bad water can kill you. Stagnant water will kill you if it's infected with something, right? It's terrible. And especially in a survival situation. But one of the things that I learned a long time ago, if I were to ever come across this, is you can actually put a little bit of bleach in your water and it will sterilize that water. It doesn't matter how poopy brown color it is or what it is, but if you put a little tot of bleach, I think it's 1 to 100 or 1,000 parts per million. I don't know. You just put a little shot of bleach in and you can actually drink it at that point. I'm sure if you drink it in large quantities, it's going to do a lot of damage. But I know that, you can treat water by literally just adding bleach or I guess chlorine, but I'm sure that's equally unhealthy for you.
Well, yeah, you don't want to do it long term.
It just doesn't give you
But in an
amoeba.
emergency situation, I mean, it's better than potentially fucking getting something that's going to make you violently ill and actually puke out your stomach.
Also, you're talking about an amoeba, right? So this is a simple-celled organism that has the ability to reproduce at incredible rates in the right environment. Like if it's in a water supply that goes into the sewer or the city water, like first of all, how did it get there? I mean, I'm sure it could come from anywhere. But secondly, what is stopping this from spreading across the entire? Like all water sources are basically connected. You know what I mean? I mean they're not, but through the water cycle, through the rain cycle, et cetera, they're all.
It's got to be.
Like what is stopping this amoeba from spreading?
As a layman, it's got to be the fact that it doesn't just. There has to be some kind of reason why it's not just procreating with a limitless possibility. Maybe it's like the environment or the food or something.
It's probably the conditions. It's probably the conditions, right, in which the amoeba is required to replicate. Which I don't know what they are, but it's disgusting and it's terrifying and it's crazy.
It's worse than Disneyland.
Like everywhere I go in North America, I drink the tap water, right? I never think twice about it. I'm like, I'm in North America, right?
I really drink tap water everywhere.
Everywhere. Like, I don't know that this will necessarily change that behavior, but if I'm in whatever that county in Texas is, it sure will.
Dude.
But it's like, that's crazy to think that can just happen.
Oh, yeah.
Also, by the way, if I was like really sick and they were like, oof, like your brain is like packed full of amoebas, it's just so gross. Like, it's such insult to injury.
You saw that? Yeah.
Like, I would just be like, just blow my fucking brains out, man.
Yeah, it's pretty
there's no
bad.
Cure for this once you get it.
You saw that?
No,
you saw that
that's
video that Forrest sent us where you don't know what's really going on, and then he's like over a sink, and he just kind of like goes like this
Brain
on
grab.
his head, and a bunch of fucking bugs start falling out of his ear. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Forrest, what I'm saying is you should have killed yourself.
Yeah, many times over. Thank you. All right, so in some lighter news, I had something fun come across my desk. Yeah, I thought this was a real cute story. In 2005, an African flamingo broke out of his enclosure from a zoo in Kansas. Okay, this happens. Like, in fact, we've probably all been to a zoo and seen how there's like a 1-foot guardrail for the flamingos, and you're like, why are they standing there like this? Like, what is stopping them from just using their awkwardly long legs and just gently stepping over the guardrail and walking off? So in 2005, this African flamingo broke out of its enclosure in a zoo in Kansas. That, like I said, I know that happens all the time. It happens here in Santa Barbara all the time. However, when they went searching for it, nobody found it at all. And they're like, okay, that's weird. Like, I guess the flamingo got eaten by a coyote or something. Well, fast forward 8 years, and a bird watcher by the name of Neil Hayward spots the flamingo in the Texas Gulf Coast. And guess what? The flamingo has found himself a partner, another flamingo who's escaped from a Mexican nature reserve 5 years earlier. And these two have somehow found themselves in on the Gulf Coast together. And both zoos, this is the best part of the story, both zoos were notified of like their escaped animals like 5 and 8 years later. And they were like, yeah, all good. Let them live their days out. And they just like hung out.
By the way, if that story ended with the zoos coming and separated them, I was never going to do another podcast with you.
Dude, there'd be protests outside those zoos.
Dude, that's an amazing, I mean, that's the type of, that's a Disney movie.
It is.
It's a movie.
It really
is. It's totally a Disney movie.
Flamingo and Pingo.
God, those flamingos both escaped. They were looking up at the same stars. They found their way to each other. And then I don't know how flamingos have sex, because it's got to be weird since they both only stand on one leg.
Will, can you bring up flamingos mating, please? No, just kidding. But did you guys? Here's a fun fact. If we're talking about birds fucking, have you guys? One time I was driving down the road in my hometown, and there's a pond there, and I saw a duck being violently gang raped by 2 male ducks, and I was like, I feel like I need to pull over and like do something. I feel like this is.
Why are you?
I listen. I didn't get involved, but I was very I was fucked up. I was like, this is horrible. What the hell's going on? The world is going to shit. And but anyways, so obviously there wasn't Google back at this time. But I went to the library and I found out that ducks, they will have a threesome or a gangbang, and not only that, but they will stay. It's like a monogamous relationship between 3 different ducks. And that, my friend, is why they are better than us.
The duck is also known for the anatomy.
Really?
It's an extremely, extremely long corkscrew.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they've got some wacky genitals. You are right. It's one of the reasons it's one of the reasons like I can't get behind duck hunting. And I have no problem with hunting as a conservation tool, and it's not because ducks are into gangbangs.
Oh yeah.
Why you chuckled?
I was wondering where you're going.
It's because they are monogamous like that, right? And they do mate for life until until something happens and find a new mate, whatever. But the idea of like sitting in a blind and overfly these ducks and like you whack one of the 2 and then the other one flies off, and it's like That thing had mated for life with this other animal. Like, I don't know if love exists in the animal kingdom. I believe it does. But, like, they were together for life, and you just removed that from the equation. You know what I mean? I don't know. I got
viscerally felt that in the pit of my stomach when you said it. I was like, that is fucking awful, dude. Anti-Broner material.
Don't duck hunt. Yeah, no, that's a real letdown in the Broner department.
It's also
it's a real soft grouper.
I was going through a phase where I was watching a lot of Top Chef. This is like circa like 2009, and duck is like they're
foie gras,
dude. That's the problem. It's so good.
Now foie gras is goose, but fatty goose liver. But yeah, duck. You know, high end restaurants, you get the duck. I gotta say though, even at a really high end restaurant, it's awfully chewy. Like, just give me. I'll take the steak.
Oh,
give me the steak.
I love.
They're not
duck.
monogamous. Do you really?
They're not. I think duck is so good. That's one of the problems. That's why I wish I could get into duck hunting and didn't care, because it's so tasty. I think it's such delicious meat. Dude, don't you remember the street duck in Vietnam?
Oh.
When we were there, and Johnny and Mitch went like 11 different times and kept bringing back platter after platter of street duck.
It was right next to our hotel. It was beautiful, beautiful platter of food that they were getting for $10.
Yeah.
I had one bite.
Wait. So you weren't into it?
It didn't do it for you? Oh, man. I thought it was so good.
Just don't love duck,
I'm actually with Pat on this one.
And you're right. Cows are not monogamous. You know, leave those ducks in the sky, eat a burger. That's the message here, people.
Yeah. I'm with Pat on this one. I don't like duck either. I find it pretty chewy and terrible.
So I live in West Hollywood.
We know.
Peter is currently in the valley. So we both have this problem for us. Not as much up in the mountains where you live, but walk outside.
No thanks.
The sidewalk, you got a problem already if you're on the sidewalk in LA, because there's fucking shit all over it, right? There's dog shit.
It's terrible.
Mostly dog shit. Some human shit. Probably quite a bit of
garbage. But a lot of garbage and dog shit.
People are letting their fucking dog shit on the sidewalk. I think it's gotten worse.
It's fucking terrible.
I don't know what the fuck is going on. But the city of Naples, Italy, has a similar thing going on. There's dog shit.
Okay.
We're like, what the fuck are we doing, man? Like, we gotta be.
This is our fucking neighborhood. These are our neighborhoods.
Let's fucking have some respect, man. So starting January 2021, right? Everybody who gets a new dog has to get the dog. You have to get the dog's DNA put into a database.
I love this. I love it already.
If they find, they're going to basically have a new parking task force, right? Parking people drive around, they give you tickets. You're in the fucking database. They know who you are. They make you pay it. Mm-hmm. If not, it goes to collections. They're going to do the same thing with dog shit. So if they find a pile of shit on the sidewalk,
I love this.
Somewhere it shouldn't be in someone's yard, they're going to DNA test it, and you're going to pay a hefty fine because it's not cheap. $605 if you let your dog shit.
It's way worse than fucking a parking violation. It's disgusting. It's one of the most infuriating fucking things. I have a dog. My dog will take the tiniest fucking shit, and I use a whole fucking normal bag to pick it up, dude. I don't know what people are thinking when they leave dog shit around their own goddamn neighborhood, dude. It's insane. Do you shit where you sleep? No. Do you shit where you eat? What are you doing? God, it pisses me off to know, and I love this.
I completely agree with you guys, but the fact that they're using DNA sequencing in a database, I mean, one, it's kind of Big Brotherish, but two, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I'm so okay with it. Yeah, I love it. I think it's fantastic. What a great use of that technology, by the way.
Roll this out.
Here's why you don't want me to be the mayor of LA. Because what I would do is this. I would say, yeah, we're going to do the Naples, Italy thing. But you're not going to do is pay a fine, right? I'm going to get a whole group of basically guys that look like Secret Service. They're going to look like the Men in Black, Will Smith. Black suits, sunglasses. They're going to have super soakers. It's going to kill two birds with one stone.
Filled with bleach.
Because oftentimes, the many, many homeless people around here, oftentimes their stool is very soft.
How do you know this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
Because it's all over the sidewalk. So what we're going to do is we're going to collect
you and the Men in Black.
And they're going to have super soakers full of diarrhea. And if you're caught letting your dog shit on the sidewalk, You're going to get a knock on the door. You think it's an Amazon package?
No.
Super soaker full of diarrhea.
Dude, my dog took a fucking diarrhea in the bathroom the other day, and it makes me never want to have kids, first of all. It was the most foul thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. But here's a controversial question
That's why we have no female listeners.
Nah, they love this shit. Every time you ever say that, I get messages and comments on the post on Instagram that's like, fuck that, we're bros too. But all right, so controversial question for you two to weigh in quickly on. You're walking your dog, your dog takes a shit, you pick it up, you're carrying it around. There's a garbage bin in the street. The garbage has already been collected, but the garbage can's still out there. You throw the fucking bag of shit in that garbage can. Thoughts? I mean, a lot of people fucking get up in arms about this. I do it every time.
For sure. Yeah, you is it the right thing to do? No. Am I walking around for 30 more minutes with a bag of poop in my hand?
And I'm not
Absolutely
fucking leaving
not.
it on the ground. And I'm picking it up.
No.
It's
exactly right.
Effort.
No, it's a gray area for sure. Am I putting it in the dumpster? 100% of the time. I will not walk around with a bag of poop in my hand.
Watch out, Reseda, California.
I agree with you guys. Like, I would just put it in the empty thing. But if someone who lives in there's 12 townhouses here, if someone puts a box in the recycling that's not broken down.
Oh, you must go livid.
I'm now taking them out and leaving the boxes outside of their apartments.
Oh, God.
Because I'm just saying, I've had it. I've fucking had it. I've been breaking down boxes.
What's all doing?
My hands, my forearms are covered in paper cuts because I never even bring a knife down. So I'm punching through the tape. I'm bleeding for you so that you can get your shit in it. You're throwing Amazon boxes?
Full Amazon boxes. By the way, one Amazon box can take up like an eighth of the entire fucking dumpster, whereas broken down, it takes
more
up like
than that,
1/300th. It's fucking bananas.
Yeah. I'm going to get a quick cocktail. It's only going to take 30 seconds.
There you go.
But people want to hear Forrest anyway. Nobody likes
Forrest.
To say.
Oh, don't be such a baby. You know what it's a good time for? You know what it's a good time for? Little bizarre animal of the week.
I love that your
bizarre animal of the week.
Pound on the desk is the intro to everything. Yes.
Do we have a better intro? I mean, you going to start scatting again, Peter? Because that was
all right, go ahead. Bizarre animal of the week.
Bizarre animal of the week. Okay, so Peter. Well, we've lost Mr. DeLuca.
Many years ago.
Imagine, 65 million years ago, dinosaurs roamed the earth.
And crocodiles.
A comet comes, wipes out everything but one lineage of flying creatures. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Staying with me now? No other close living relatives on Earth exist of this creature. They're young. Now, keep in mind, I said flying, and they're still around today, right? They're still around today. They're young, don't learn to fly up until they're 2 months old, right? So you've got a flying creature that spends the first 2 months of its life completely enabled of flying. To get away from predators, instead of flying, they cannonball into the water and swim for cover until the threat is gone. These animals have dinosauric-like claws on the ends of their wings that they use to climb tree trunks back into their nests.
Yeah,
right? Imagine that.
I'm picturing this thing, and I'm terrified that these still exist right now.
Isn't this crazy? This is the only living ancestor of an animal that existed 65 million years ago. And like I said, they are flying creatures, and they can fly, but they do it so little that they often live their entire lives within 100 feet of where they were born, similar to like a sloth. They're born in one area, they climb up these trees with their like grappling hook wings, they dive bomb into the water, and they never leave an area that is like 100 feet diameter of where they're born.
This is wild. Like I can't imagine an animal that can fly that never leaves, a 100-foot radial area.
You're starting to picture this? Now let me make it weirder for you. Now you're thinking this animal that I've just described, this is clearly, it's like it's eating meat or fish, right? I mean, it's got these weird claws. It's been around since the dinosaurs. it's a folivore, which, Peter, means it only eats leaves. It eats nothing but leaves.
Man, this is a fucked up animal, because I actually do have an idea of what I'm picturing, and I don't know if I'll be right. Go on. But I got something in my head here.
Well, but let me ask you this. Do you have one at your compound for us?
I wish. I wish I had several.
Because I was picturing one of your birds.
Yeah, I wish. Okay. And Will's gonna pull one up because I know what I'm talking about.
More info?
And we're not there yet. We still got a couple more. There's still more clues, and then I want to hear what you guys. Patrick's coming in late to the game, but I want to hear what you are visualizing, and then I'm gonna tell you what it is. We're gonna take a look at it. So this animal. And just to get Patrick up to speed, last living ancestor of a line of flying creatures that dates back 65 million years, has no other living relatives on Earth. Their babies don't learn to fly for up to 2 months. Even when they do learn to fly, they do it so little that typically they never leave an area less than 100 feet of where they're born. They have grappling hooks on the ends of their wings that they use to hook and climb up trees. I mean, this is a bizarre creature. It's a folivore, which means it eats leaves. It's also a ruminator, so it digests its food in a specialized stomach like a sheep or a cow, and it has 1,000 species of bacteria in its gut. Super weird creature. And because it is a folivore, it eats leaves, and because it ruminates, it digests in this weird stomach and has 1,000 species of bacteria, it's constantly burping and farting fermented foliage gas to release this odor to get it out. And it has the nickname because of this, the flying cow.
Okay.
What do you think this animal?
Well, this is easy. This is my ex-wife, and I'll tell you why. Just kidding. But let me take my guess quick, because what I'm actually envisioning is something we've talked about on the podcast before.
Okay.
What was the giant bat that we saw that was on the? That's what.
The flying fox.
Is that what that is? Is that what it is?
Flying fox, yeah.
I think so. I think that's what we... Oh, yeah. Is that what it is? No. Good guess, though. I like where your head's at with that. Good guess. No, it's not a flying fox.
All right.
I don't know... It's not... I don't think I know what the name of the animal is, so I'm just going to not even try and make it an animal that I know. But what I'm picturing is I'm essentially picturing... What are your Dr. Seuss birds that you have?
Guinea fowl?
Yeah, I'm picturing a guinea fowl.
No. I'm sorry. You're thinking of the silky chickens.
Yeah, the silky chickens.
Yeah. Will, can you pull up a quick picture of silky chickens so that people can
we
see
write a song about the silky chickens too, or a poem? Silky chickens. I love it.
For sure. Well, I mean, they're hilarious.
They are.
For us, how many silky chickens do you have?
Oh, you actually...
7 or 8
you
right
actually
now?
have the silky chicken.
We've seen them.
No, this is not what the animal is. This is not a silky chicken. I have silky chickens. The animal I've described is not.
And that's what you thought that he was talking about, Pat? Silky chickens?
That's the best I can do. That's what I'm picturing, because they seem pretty useless with flying. So for those of you who want to see some of these images, obviously go over to the old YouTube. Will just pulled up a picture. Forrest has like 6 of these. Just roaming
not
his
only
yard.
that, Will, do me a favor. Type in naked neck silky chicken. This is what we just got. Literally,
this silky chicken looks like it has hemmed pants on its legs.
Just wait. It gets better. You should see the chickens we just got. And then I'm going to explain what our bizarre animal of the week is.
It looks like it has...
I'm digressing, but I want you guys to see what a naked neck silky chicken looks like.
It's
wait for it. It's coming.
Silky chicken looks like it's wearing the same pants that I wore to the 8th grade dance.
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness.
It's very, very ostrichy looking.
I just got 2 of those. Yeah, 2 naked neck silky chickens. But these are very good guesses from both of you guys. I think the flying fox is pretty close. I really do. I think a silky chicken is a good comical, close creature to what I described. But the animal that I am talking about, our bizarre animal of the week, is a bird from South America, from Peru, known as the Hoatzin. Can you pull a picture up of it, Will, so that everybody can see what this incredible creature looks like? It's also known, I didn't want to give away that it was a bird, it's also known as the stink bird because of the amount of farting and burping that it does.
This bird
So the locals in Peru just are like, dude, that bird flies over you. It's just fart cloud.
They
just stink
stay
bird.
away.
Yeah,
the
it's
bird
disgusting.
never leaves its 100-foot radius area. The bird looks fucking
Isn't
like,
that crazy?
like a king with a like a robe on, is what it looks like. It looks very regal, kingly.
Yeah, they're super bizarre. And so the Hoatzin, that is our bizarre animal of the week.
Well, also, by the way, that's unquestionably a dinosaur. That's a fucking
You can like in the face.
Yeah.
You look at the face of that, and that looks prehistoric in that fucking face. What is that beak? Is made out of like petrified wood.
It's super bizarre.
Got a mohawk.
So that's our bizarre
stuff.
animal of the week,
Dude,
guys.
that's a good looking fucking animal. I thought it was going to be much uglier, honestly. I was picturing something that was like bad looking, and that is like a beautiful fucking animal. Nice.
Peter, why don't we get you a couple Hoatzin?
Nah, I can't take care of animals.
Let's get you a couple Hoatzin.
By the way, best joke of the night is definitely when you said that I was describing your ex-wife. That was
Did I say that?
Joke of the night. Yeah, you did. Yeah, good for you. Hey, do you guys want to get into everybody's favorite time?
Yes, always.
Yeah. What's that time called? I forget.
Patrick, you disappeared, but Peter called me out for always drum rolling on my desk to intro us. Can you intro us, please, Peter?
Is this, I'm not sure, is it fact or fiction or is it battle royale?
No, this is Battle Royale, man.
It's obviously Battle Royale, you doofus.
That's everyone's favorite.
I don't know, man. I've gotten a lot of fanfare about fact or fiction.
It's time
For the battle.
Royale.
That was a three-way.
How to get Forrest only one word to say.
Good. I talk too much. I got one tonight.
right.
It's coming straight from producer Will. I think it's going to be fun. You are going to become a superhero. Patrick, think back to Lion Man, right? Remember that? Yeah. You're going to become a superhero. But in this version of the Battle Royale, you have to pick 3 animals that you would let bite or sting you in order to get their superhuman senses. So you have to think about what that means, getting that, we're talking Spider-Man, right? He gets the bad spider bite. He's up all night puking. The next day, he's got dope-ass web shooting powers, right? In this Battle Royale,
and all you have to take is a spider bite. So that's important.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're not going to be Elephant Man, right? Because if you're getting trampled by an elephant, you're probably not waking up the next day. So you got to take this into consideration here for what superpowers you're going to acquire to become the next pretty sweet.
So it's not just a bite; it's like you're getting an attack from whatever it is, right?
Yeah. You got to wear one in order to.
So you have to be able to survive this too, kind of. I mean, or you'd be dead.
Yeah, I think that's a factor.
This is
That'll
rough.
play.
Okay, I'm definitely not going first.
Okay.
Somebody.
I'll happily go first.
Okay,
Let's do it.
Because there's an obvious choice, and I'm going to win. I'm going to place just a plain old fucking black ant, not a red ant, not a stinging ant, just a black ant. Just a common household ant, right? I'm going to set it on me, and I'm going to let it bite me.
Okay.
I will wake up in the morning, and like the ant that bit me, I will be able to lift and carry 5,000 times my body weight.
True.
that's smart.
Yep.
So I will literally be able to just, I'm in traffic, I get stuck. I will be able to pick up my car over my head and walk out of traffic with my car.
This is true. All right.
Make
to be
billions
clear,
of dollars because I'm the strongest man in the world. I can lift houses.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And to be clear, this is my Battle Royale, so I'm making up the rules. Super strength is now off the table. That's it.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Super strength is gone. Okay. So that's it. Peter, you want to go next? You want me to dig in?
While I think some more.
Sure. Okay.
I can lift 1 million pounds, FYI. 1 million pounds.
Did you just do the math?
That's pathetic that I had to type it in the calculator, but I'm on my second drink.
That's pretty good. I mean, you are undeniably the strongest creature that's ever lived of your size now.
Thank you.
Yeah. Congrats.
Okay. What do you got?
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Where do I go first? Insects are a good way to go with this for sure.
Yeah, they got some cool powers.
Yeah. I'm thinking that my very first move is to, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go this way. I'm out in the ocean. I'm swimming around, and I take a bite from a wahoo. Right, a wahoo being the fastest fish in the ocean. Now they do have razor sharp teeth. It's gonna suck. I mean, even a small one, I'm probably gonna need stitches. Like it's not gonna be good, but I will survive it. It's not, a wahoo bite's not gonna kill you. It's like a shitty dog bite, right? You get a bite, single bite, sucks. Gonna be very sad about it. But in the morning, I'm gonna be able to breathe in the water and swim at 50 miles an hour.
Okay.
Fuck, that's so much better than being able to just impress people by carrying stuff.
I'm basically Aquaman though, and he's a fucking loser. Like, who the fuck hangs out with Aquaman? He talks to fish. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't got there yet. I've got a cool power, but you're Hercules. I'm Aquaman right now. I'm
going to be more popular at like Venice Beach.
You are.
Like, you can swim underwater 50 miles an hour, and God damn it.
Okay. What?
Yeah, the military is going to be hiring me for sure for assassin missions.
It's just a really good pick.
Okay.
Really good.
Okay.
Let's go, Peter.
Okay, well,
get it done. Big draft.
Two picks.
I've been thinking about this for decades. So, my first pick. Now, I know this is going to seem a little strange and a little non-traditional, but I'm picking a gorilla, and I'll tell you why. A gorilla is. Listen.
Okay.
All right. A gorilla. I know you might think a gorilla would just, it could obviously fucking come. It's very strong. It could kill me. But here's the reality. I'm very charming and animals love me. And I'm quite confident that once the gorilla saw me and I started putting on my charm, I'd easily be able to tame this gorilla. And all he'd do is give me a swift slap in the face. And I would get his super strength and his ability to, everything else gorillas do.
Wasn't the first part of this rule no super strength now?
Well, I mean, no. I get what you're saying, but he's talking about lifting 10 million or a million times his weight. I'm talking about having the agility and the fierceness of a gorilla. Just imagine me as a gorilla.
Okay, can we just say that the caveat of this is you come with like really hunched over shoulders and you're dragging your knuckles? Like you're
it'd be no different than I look normally.
But you also have to take a gorilla attack in order to get this power.
I just told you.
You have to get attacked by a
Did you not listen to my dude? I just told you that I would easily be able to charm this gorilla into only giving me a slight slap to the face.
It's a terrible pick. I mean, it's a cool power. I just don't believe that you'd survive the gorilla slap. But that being said, you're very gorilla-ish. Like you're quick to anger. Like you're a ridiculous person.
You are.
Like you're huge. You're way too large. Yeah, you're way too big of a person. You're thick. I mean, like it's not a bad pick. Like I feel like you would fit in. Like it makes sense.
Okay, so
you're basically the guy from Umbrella Academy. I don't know if you've watched that yet. Big hairy dude. It's good. Yeah.
So Peter gets killed by a gorilla and then stays the same. What's your second?
Yeah. Peter, second
snake
pick.
Drafting, dude. Fuck.
Hey, he's getting it.
I hate this shit. All right, so my next pick would be this animal is an animal that everybody has heard of. It's an animal that has quite a unique ability to regenerate itself when it is injured. I would be attacked by a earthworm.
That's going to be pretty easy.
A gorilla earthworm?
Please continue.
You can take on a gorilla that can regenerate body parts? I don't think so.
Okay. That's pretty good, Peter. I mean, the whole getting attacked by an earthworm, I'm not sure what that looks like, but you're going real hard opposite.
I don't think it's going to hurt. I've fought with many an earthworm every time I've gone fishing, so I think I'll be okay.
I believe. All right.
What do you got for
my
us?
second pick? So I've got my aquatic powers. I'm mixing it up now. My second pick, and something I have actually been bitten by a number of times, once with Patrick actually, I'm going to take a little chomp from a chameleon. And now I basically have the power of invisibility. Now, not exactly. We've all seen chameleons can change. They don't disappear, but I can go against the walls, and I will be such a good spy. Are you kidding me? I will be.
So what are you going to do with that power? Are you going to just like hang out in Target until after they close, and then
hang out
with no lines?
I think I'm mostly gonna rob banks, to be honest. I think I'm just gonna hang out in the corner of a bank, look like a trash can, and then they're gonna close it, and I'm just gonna pop up and just go into the vault, and here we go.
I didn't realize chameleons were good at cracking safes. That's awesome. All right, so look, I can now lift 900,000 pounds, which is amazing.
Nice.
And I'll probably just gain 20 pounds so that I can make that into a million. Because I have the power of an ant. Now I'm going to add 2 powers to that. So first, I'm going to take an attack, and this could potentially be vicious. It is from a creature called an animal called the Antarctic sponge. Okay. It's essentially looks like an adorable loofah. I don't know how it eats, but I don't think its attack is going to hurt. And in fact, it might feel really good. And then I'm going to take its power because this animal, the Antarctic sponge, lives for 15,000 years.
It's a good power.
Here's where this becomes a problem. I don't even like being alive in the age of social media. And so, like,
terrible pick.
100 years from now,
what are you doing?
I just
why
don't
are
want
you
to die.
picking something and then telling us why it's a horrible pick?
Well, here's why. Because ultimately, if I'm going to be the guy who can carry 900,000 pounds, I also want to have no fear of death. Because if you told me right now, dude, you're going to live to be 15,000, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm gonna do everything.
Be great watching everybody.
Just go skydive without a parachute.
Let everybody watch everybody in your life die many, many times over for 15,000 years.
That's going to happen either way, man, because I'm healthy as a horse. So Antarctic sponge, I'm going to live 15,000 years. And then I'm going to just take a kind of the low-hanging fruit for my final pick. This is going to hurt. I don't know how bad, but I know it's going to be bad. I'm going to take a brutal, vicious claw and beak attack from the peregrine falcon because this animal is the indisputable fastest animal in the sky, flying at speeds of up to 186 miles an hour. I want the power of flight. I just want that so I can fly somewhere, pick up a house, and I'm not going to die for 15,000.
You're Superman. You're ultra strong. You can fly super fast, and you basically are invincible. You've created Superman out of animal powers.
And maybe I'll dye my hair black and get some cool glasses. I don't know.
Well, what's his name? Henry Cavill?
Henry Cavill.
Yeah. Will you please be as handsome as him too? Because
that I can't change. I can't do anything about this nose. All right, Forrest, how are you going to round out your skill set?
Okay. Yeah. I to be honest, mine's pretty eclectic so far. So I'm going to keep going that way. I'm not gonna go traditional. I'm going to take a shot from a very weird creature known as a bombardier beetle, which shoots acid out of its anus. Hot, noxious acid. It's literally at room temperature that will boil and melt things. So I have now the ability to swim really fast and breathe underwater, blend into the surroundings for no apparent reason, and shit acid out at a very hot temperature if anybody startles me.
For even less of an apparent reason.
Yeah, for even less of an apparent reason. So I'm not the military's first pick of super soldier. I'm probably their last pick, but still got some powers. I'm still hanging in there.
It's funny because your offensive tactics are useless if you're wearing pants, which means you always have to be nude from the waist down or wearing chaps.
Yeah, just Daffy Ducking it the whole time. Just a plain white T-shirt and nothing else.
Yeah, exactly. Cool animal superpower. I think you just lost the battle royale because you wanted to get that cool fact in there.
Yeah, kind of.
If the Brostners pick you over me,
you're done.
They're cheating.
Yeah.
All right, Retep, what are you going to add to staying the same, being dead from a gorilla attack, and then whatever your second thing was?
I'm obviously able to regenerate limbs and body parts.
That's good.
Whatever. I'll see you in 5 million BC when you're alive. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been thinking about this while you guys were yammering. It's going to be controversial, but I am going to take on herpes because, take on herpes, and then I will have the ability to multiply and take over anything I wish at a very viral rate, using all of my regeneration.
So your third animal is getting herpes? That's your third. That's your
And then
third pick.
having the ability to just spread across the globe with my regenerating limbs and my gorilla strength.
So let me get your superpowers straight. So you're just basically you, but with even more aggression and testosterone and even a hairier back as a gorilla. You regenerate when something beats you up, and you just spread like a virus. So all of a sudden, there's thousands of angry Peters all over the globe.
If you tear an arm off or anything of the sort, Pat comes at me with his beak and talons and lifts off my hand and drops it somewhere, it regenerates into a fully new herpes gorilla-like earthworm creature. Yeah.
So you're just like ripping arms off and tossing them to the side, and then all of a sudden a new Peter sprout. Gee, this is my nightmare. You are describing more of you is my nightmare to begin with. A plague of you is it's revolting.
Dude,
like
herpes is brutal, mate.
Imagine how cocky he would be in the Chicago bar scene if he knew that when someone bumped into him and started a fight, he could take his right arm, tear off his left arm, hit the guy with it, and then grow another left arm.
I could cut off a toe and it would regenerate into a full new fucking soldier. I think I got this.
You would roll around with a pack of Peters at all times. There would just be an entourage of these hairy, aggressive Peters walking around.
The problem is you'd still have herpes.
No, well,
yeah, but you are still
have herpes, by the way, and we all are herpes. So I don't know. Pretty meta.
Oh, that's really funny. Okay, so Brostners, if you're digging this, first of all, go on to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review, please. That's all we ask. We don't sell ads. We don't do any nonsense. We just want your love. But while you're there, do us a favor and give us a vote. Who created the best superhero? Was it Papa Patrick's Superman-like creature, which is a combination of an ant's strength, a loofah's ability to live forever, and a peregrine's falcon ability to fly as the fastest creature on Earth? Pretty incredible. Basically Superman. My very, very odd, eclectic group of powers, which is the Wahoo's ability to swim really fast and breathe underwater, the chameleon's ability to blend in, maybe throw some tongue action in there, not really sure. And the bombardier's beetle's action ability to shit acid at a hot temperature. Of course, this is very useful for literally nothing. Peter's herpes-infested gorilla earthworm creature that replicates every time a limb is torn from it, looks exactly like Peter, but has more aggression and back hair, and is just riddled with herpes. If you touch it, you get herpes. If you look at it, you practically get herpes. He's basically a giant walking
replicates
herpes.
Very fast, hard to control, not curable.
Yeah. This is a mess. Patrick is the only one that had any kind of synergy or uniformity to his superhero. Much cleverer than the other two. That being said, please don't vote for him. He's never got a win. Let's not make tonight the night.
Forrest, cleverer, not a word. Carry on. Much cleverer.
Hey,
thank you for that.
Hey, Retep, is the swag ready? Are the shirts ready?
Just about. Yeah, I'm waiting on the ones that the professor, the name ones. But we have two real fucking nice ones I sent you guys. My spirit animal.
Yep, love it.
So when are those going to go live for the people that are interested?
Next next week for sure. I've been meaning to put it up. I just got slammed and
Sweet.
Yeah. So it'll be up next week.
Awesome.
Peter, where can people find us on social media? And then I've got something to surprise you guys with, as well as the Brostners.
At Wild Times Pod on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. On YouTube, it is youtube.com. The channel is the Wild Times Podcast. Obviously, search us in Google. We have a website, thewildtimespodcast.com. And we'll be there.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I like that. So, guys,
up for
next
next
week,
week?
I have a surprise for us. I have a friend, and she is an extremely famous Instagram model by the name of Charlie Jordan.
Ooh.
Will, if you're still on, maybe you can pull up a pic of Charlie. She's got millions of followers, and she's an absolute sweetheart. And the reason that Charlie is going to be joining us on the pod next week is because Charlie has decided to use her public figure, her powers of persuasion for these millions and millions of what I assume are mostly thirsty guys, to bring some attention to conservation.
Nice.
Now, she's not a biologist. She's not a conservationist. She is just an average. I mean, she's not average. She's beautiful, but she is just a normal person who has this incredible power of influencing others. And she has decided to shine a light on and change her direction to be about wildlife and conservation. And she's coming on the pod next week to tell us about that for the first time. That is her first venture into the space. And she's decided to join us next week to talk about it.
Yeah, so hopefully she's prepared for the fact that we are three drunk buffoons, and we will talk some conservation and a lot of bullshit, probably, about childhood cereals. But yeah, Charlie with a Y, Charly, Jordan will be our guest next week. We'll talk all sorts of shit. That's going to be fun.
Always is.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. It'll be good to get her perspective on everything. Yeah. And until then, that's about it. Good night.
Good night. Shut up, Pat.
Love you guys, listeners. Peter.